My name is Franco Dolce. I was born in Naples, 24/6/34. After 6 months that I was born, my father was in the police. They took us north of Italy. We went to Belluno, Gorizia, and Cracovia. There, my sister was born, Edda, and Bruno was born there. From there, we were shifted in Sardinia, and we were there from 1939 to 45. All the war we spent in Sardinia. The first we will live near Cagliari the name was Quarto Sant'Elena. We live in a little villa that the bloke during the war he ran back to Italy and he gave it to my father, this little villa to look after, and we live there. And there we used to stay 3 years, and there we were quite well, but like I said, not much food, not much clothes. We were wearing clothes. I had to pass my clothes to my brother, and the sister had to pass to the other sister. After 3 years that we were there, my dad was taken by the German, and he disappeared for nearly 2 years. We never knew if he was dead or alive. During that period, we didn't say we were starving, but we had 1 meal a day, and we never saw any meat or chicken or eggs or thing. We were always living on vegetables, fruit, and pasta. I remember that me and my sister, my brother, stay in the garden and counting 360 planes passing Quarto Sant'Elena, go to Cagliari because we were moved there, and bombing all Cagliari and destroy completely. 300 going, 300 come back, 300 going, 300 come back, and this was for 2 days. I lost my fourth brother, Luciano, that during the war, one night we had to run to the recovery, and the English and the American, they came and they bombed Cagliari completely. We forgot Luciano in bed because we were 5 of us, and when we come back out 2 hours after the bombing, we couldn't find the street or the house. That means we never found him, and it was about 2 years old, 2 or 3, I don't remember. From there, in the 1946, we come back in Italy. Before we moved to Italy, my father, one day from anywhere, he come up, knocking at the door, and my mother, when he opened the door, he nearly fainted because he didn't see me for 2 years. He was very skinny. He was taken prisoner to Isola Rodi, near Greece. From there, we moved back in Italy, and my father found a job in the government, and we were all 7 of us. And because my father was struggling to keep us, feeding all us and everything, pay the rent and everything, I started to work as a commis waiter in one of the bars in Via Veneto. And I used to do 11, 12 hours a day because we didn't have anything to protect us. I used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning, come back at home about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And this was mostly 6 weeks, 6 days a week. I went in the army in 1952. I was about 23. Our job was to blow up bridges, find mines, all these things. And if we found a mine, we uncover, not lift them up, because some mine they were attached and they blew up. And we had cover, put a cross, and after they knew that one mine there, another mine, and people they used to walk in straight away through the mine. We were there, we done everything, the bombs and everything, and we were under the deep. When we timed for 5 minutes, nothing happened. And of course, the captain, he says, one of you is going to go and find out. Like an idiot, I said, yes. I went. Because when I come out of there, I was in danger because if it blew up, it would tell me. Any case, what happened, the fuse, it stopped halfway. I don't know if I pay myself on everything, but I was so scared that when I come back, I was trembling. And that it boosted my things in the army. When I went to Trent, I was promoted sergeant, and they give me 15 soldiers under me. That was called platoon. 6 soldiers that I had to train him and everything. But from there, we were sending him to the Monte Bondone because the government, he wants to clean up all these mountains. The First World War, there was a lot of army left there that people, they didn't know where they were. We had to find them. And when we were digging up, find this thing, we found a lot of these bones, heads of the First World War soldier that were mass grave. And of course, we put them all on one side, and the Archbishop of Rovereto, he decided to give us the big cross, and we built this big cross in 1954, and with all our name underneath, and that was, come back to Trento, one of my superior called me and he says, oh, he says, I heard about you have been working in the hotels, you've been working there and there. He says, would you like to take over lunch and dinner? Like an idiot, I say yes. It was 1,000 people to feed breakfast, lunch and dinner. Yeah. In those days, we didn't have the peeled potatoes, or we had to do all, but I was very clever. I took all the people that they didn't like, they were in prison for 2 months, 3 months. I took them all out and I put them all in the kitchen. I said, from now you work there. And they were happy. And there for 6 months I feed all the people. After 6 months, he called me up at again, he says, there is all the men of the officer, there are about 30 officers. Would you like to take over? I thought, well, this is great for me because from there to there. And I went there, took over the grave with another bloke. And every morning I used to go to Rovereto, Trento, order so many steaks, so many things. And I finished my army there in the, serving these people. That was the...
How long was your army service for?
2 years exactly. A friend of mine that used to work with me, he said to me, he says, why you don't go and come and work in the film production in Ponte de Laurentiis, near St. Paul, always in Rome. And I was there, and I worked there in the bar, and I was making quite good money. I served Sofia Loren, Gina Lollobrigida, Anna Magnani, you name all these actors. We done the film War and Peace. I used to make about 600-700 lire a day on tips, and I stayed there 2 years. After when we done that film War and Peace, my boss that used to be in the bar, he said to me, say, Franco, why you don't go in England and learn the language? And of course, those days to come in England was very, very difficult because, you couldn't go like today. And the government, the English government, he wants 500 people from Italy to come and work in the hotel business. And I had to do a special course in Pesaro for 6 months, and we were 100 of us. And I chose to come to London. And after 6 months, go back to Rome. I said goodbye to all my parents, and I come to England. And it was in 1959, the 4th of May 1959. And when we arrived at the station, one of the representative of Strand Palace Hotel was waiting for us, and he took 5 of us to the Strand Palace Hotel. And there, I started to work as a commie, and after 6 months, I was promoted a waiter, and I used to make, my wage was £1.50 a week, and I used to bring at home. I used to live in a small flat in Brixton. It was run by the Polish people. In those days, a flat was about £1 a week. But remember that my wages were £1.50. That means I used to make extra money, and money they were quite good because I used to bring at home about 10 shilling, 12 shilling a day. Consider that those days a steak was 2 shilling, a loaf of bread was 3pence, 6 eggs was 2pence. That is in the Strand Palace Hotel, waiting for breakfast to be collect breakfast and serve him at the table. We used to go at the table. But I was already waiter then, ready to go upstairs as soon as I had the breakfast. The Temple Bar was attached at our restaurant. Every people that is go to the restaurant those days, they had to pass through the bar. And of course, mostly the people, they were serving for an aperitif. Mostly aperitif those days, because they didn't exist Campari or Cinzano. They were unknown those days. Mostly the aperitif that rich people they used to have was a pink gin. We used to prepare about 20-30 glasses with pink Angostura, shaken through the Angostura wheat, and when they used to come, we used to put Plymouth gin in little measure like this, 1/6 of Gill, or a double, and we were charging 1 shilling or 2 shilling if it was double. Yeah, and that was the, and it's very good memory out of there, because I remember a lot of things. Oh, the 1961 to 62, single lady, if they had to come at the bar, we had to refuse to serve them, because they could be a prostitute, they could be a thing. If they were with the husband, I think, all right, but single. In fact, we had a lot of ladies waiting for the husband. We couldn't serve them. Yeah. They had to sit down and waiting until they couldn't have a drink. The photograph was taken in Rome. My father, he was in the army, but he was not in the army properly. He was working for the government. His job was to looking after ship coming down with the smuggling cigarettes or things like that in Finanza. He was a special body. And we took this picture about, I was there about 16, 17, must be 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 60 years ago. I had 3 sisters, Liliana, Marisa, Edda. Edda was born in Trieste. And Edda, the name was put Edda because Mussolini had one daughter. The first daughter was Edda. After my mom was born in Forino. She was born by a farmer people, but she was adopted by a very rich family. And they sent to university and everything. And she met my father when he was in the army there. And there was a lot of, the parent of my mom, they didn't like my father because they want her to marry nice rich people. In fact, my father was a simple soldier, but they fell in love and they got married. And the first 2 years, they couldn't have any children. In fact, they tried to adopt a child when she became pregnant on me. And after me, one behind another, we came every year. One was born behind me. And that is my father, Antonio. And after that boy sitting on my father's arms is Giancarlo, is the last of the family. That is 71 now, 71, 72. And after is me, Franco, Enrico, and Bruno. And after come Fulvio and Silvio. Those two, Fulvio and Silvio, because they couldn't find any work in Rome, they both emigrated. They both went to Switzerland. And Silvio, he was lucky that after he was working in the Movenpick. Movenpick, he means like McDonald's. After 6 months was there, he scooped nearly 160,000 pounds on the lottery. And he became quite well known because he opened a few restaurants, few bars, and he was well known. But unfortunately, he gambling and women, he lost everything. And the same story for my brother Fulvio. He lost his restaurant and everything because Silvio helped him to open a restaurant, and the gambling, cards, and that, he lost everything, and now he lives in the Philippines. Yeah.
So tell me about your polio.
Thank you, Anthony. He lied. I must say I love him. I love your dad, but he tells lies.
And the picture there, who's that? That one.
Which picture?
That one, who's that?
That's all
This?
the family.
No, the other one. The family one.
This one.
Who's
This?
that?
All the family.
Who's that?
Who said this?
Sugezzo!
No, who said? Who said?
Who
Who
said?
said?
Got you.